Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. We back with another one. It's your boy, the brand, though. No. And as you know, when I come, I always come through with those 40 wolves. Hold on. See? Yeah, I'm playing games with it, cuz. Sound like them 40 wolves was asleep or something. Hold on. Uh-huh. Tried to tell y'all. You know what I mean? Wait a minute. Cuz you doing something. You doing too much. See? Uh, doing too much, man. Let me see. Being said, now that you know that your boy the Brando knows. But I'm so glad it's still not Monday.
Monday is the worst, first day of the week. Always seem to feel I never get enough sleep. Tuesday's the one day, feels like a Sunday, and if it wasn't for Monday, I wouldn't even notice. Wednesday's the hump day, get you out the slump day. Thursday's the day before that bread, so you come day. Friday's the next, direct deposit. Now it's the week. Days off, my 2 days off. I get my get my I get my 2 days off. My 2 days off. I get my I get my I get my 2 days off. My 2 days off. I get my I get my I get my 2 days off. My 2 days off. I get my
1, 2.
I get my I get my
Monday is the first day of the week. Always seem to feel I never get enough sleep. Tuesday's the one day that feels like a Sunday, but if it wasn't for Monday, I wouldn't even notice. Wednesday's the hump day. Get you out to someday. Thursday's the day before that bread, so you crump day. Friday's the next direct deposit. It's the weekend and you didn't realize it.
Monday is the worst, first day of the week. Always seem to feel I never get enough sleep. Tuesday's the one day, feels like a Sunday, and if it wasn't for Monday, I wouldn't even notice. Wednesday's the hump day, get you out the slump day. Thursday's the day before that bread, so you come day. Friday's the next direct deposit. Now it's the weekend and you didn't realize it.
Let's go. We still on that Nolan Wells case, y'all. So let's fall back, get your popcorn, chill, let me entertain you for a hot second with the remix.
Welcome to Project Food Box. We're dedicated to
All right,
improving the
let me get
health and
my
wellness.
let me get my methods in order. Okay. Before we start the show, I'm proud to announce that this show is being sponsored by the stickermill.com. Give it up for the stickermill.com. So if you go to stickermill.com /the brand, you can get your first free 10 stickers. Check it out. Go to the spot, man. Check it out, man. Get some stickers, custom. You know what I mean? Upload your picture, or have it turned into a sticker. Stick it all over your mirror, man. You'll be looking at yourself in no time. Let's get it.
In the Nolan Wells case, we believe we have a huge breakthrough, and it goes back to
Tisha
the bilge pump. I know
Cows.
what you're saying, Tisa. We already discussed it. Not like this, okay? What if I told you everything that we've been led to believe so far is wrong? What if I told you there's an expert that's actually coming forth to let us know what they think happened? And what if I told you that their investigation was so bombshell that TikTok pulled the video down several times and they had to go and post to Instagram and speak in code? And what if I told you the purpose of the video was to explain how the only thing that seems to make sense when it comes to the bilge pump and where the GPS was that the boys were fleeing? We're so focused on what happened out in that ocean. We're so focused on whether Bart, Warren, Wyatt, all those, we're so focused on that we got ahead of things. I believe this young woman, I'm about to show you in a second about why they even left Horn Island fits into a larger narrative that something happened, and it literally put the fear of God in those boys, and they were forced to flee Horn Island. That's why, even though nobody really knows when they saw Nolan, the one thing they all agree is we left at 4 o'clock, and there was that call to Cito that really sounded like an alibi. Whether or not it was, it looked like an alibi. But you know what? We can talk about this on the back end. First, you need to hear and see this information. All right? Turn your sound up. This is something very, very powerful. One moment. Now, really quick, I want to introduce this young woman. Her name is Aja Hall. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. It's Ajahallh. That's Ajahallh. And she is 100% on Instagram and TikTok. Please make sure you give her a follow. Listen to her and what she has to say. And then we're going to have the discussion. Ooh, okay, hold on. Let's go.
Video, he explains exactly what was wrong.
Let her cook. Just let her cook, all right? It's a lot of information, but let her cook. It's real quick.
With the boat, and it wasn't caused by a random billiage pump issue. Bilage, however you say it. Another thing is that the jump from when he last saw No to when they were yelling, get on the boat, you're missing a big piece of what made everybody run to the boat.
Pause. If you guys don't know, she said no. That is for Nolan. She's going to change the names a little bit. Because for some reason, even though she doesn't accuse anybody of anything, every time she starts talking about this bilge pump and them fleeing, like I said, TikTok pulled her video down and she had to repost on Instagram and speak in code. This is powerful. All right, let's go.
W also admits that the boy's name who writes with Smart started yelling at No. He also admits that throughout the day, they were all picking on No for being with that girl. And the moment, W says, the moment that girl and No sit in front of Smart's boat, Smart starts yelling at him all of a sudden out of nowhere, get on the boat. Boat wasn't having a bilage pump or bilge pump.
Here comes the $1 million breakdown.
Issue. It says verbatim, we have an issue where we have finally trimmed down the boat and got it on the right plane. That they all moved to one side of the boat. When you trim down the motor to get it on the right plane, that means that you drop the bow. This is how you are supposed to get the actual boat from being completely still to an accelerated speed fast. That they left the trim down when trying to accelerate off the island at a very fast speed, and this is what blew the bilage pump. If the trim is not up when you try to take down, it causes water to back up in the billiage. The trim is left up, the bow shoots high into the air during acceleration, forcing all loose bilage water to rush to the very back of the hull. This is why they all tried to do the emergency maneuver where they move forward. This traps water in the boat and specifically at the bilage pump. Did an emergency remover that everyone knows about, and this fucked up the bilage pump and it started to take on water. Bilage pump wasn't an issue until they made it a quarter mile offshore, like he said, at 40 miles per hour, because they didn't take the emergency brake, and the maneuver that they used to try to get the bow back up fucked everything up on the boat. Question is, what type of panic or event ensued that y'all were moving so fast, the boys who've known boats since they were children, that y'all forgot to do the simplest thing when trying to accelerate from a stop on a boat that everyone knows when you're speeding, like they said, at 40 miles per hour. Something happened to cause enough chaos for them to fuck that up, is my point.
You guys, okay, let's talk about it. If you guys don't see why this is so big, let me break it down. And for those of you that do understand what she's saying, y'all, we've been looking at this all wrong. And maybe they've been sending us red herrings. But thank God for Aja. Make sure y'all follow her. Well, she's smart, beautiful, love her, right? Listen to this. The whole thing about the trim, the bilge pump, all that stuff. These boys Anyways, and Warren was bragging about it. We've been on the boat our whole lives. We know this, we know that. When you go to leave, you must remove the trim. They left. It was a rookie air. It's like trying to drive at 80 miles an hour while your parking brake is on. And you see the emergency parking brake on, and you don't care. You're still going. For someone that is an experienced driver, you're backing out and you floor it. And if 40 miles an hour in a boat is fast, so that's like literally going from 80 miles an hour out your mama's neighborhood, flooring it. And for what? What was the rush? Why were you guys so eager to get off of Horns Island that you forgot to take the emergency brake off? You forgot to take the trim off, and you literally went, vroom. And that's how the bilge pump actually got messed up. And that's why it even said in the interview that he had to go and pop the trim out. Because the one thing that should have happened before you even left the island, you didn't go, and you were going at 40-something miles an hour. Now we know, for what they've said, if we can believe it, Bart met them out there. Bart offered a tow. They took it. While Wyatt is on the phone, at the time he's being towed, talking to Cito. Wyatt's granddaddy is on the phone with the Cito captain saying, don't worry about it. Don't you worry about... Okay, let me stop playing the serious, right? Got it. Now, we got that. But again, what happened that made these boys that have been on boats all their lives flee Horn Island? And how is it that everybody involved that Warren came with wants us to know and believe from the bottom of their hearts? And even they have phone calls to prove it, that they left at 4 o'clock off of Horn Island. And why did you flee? It seems like 42 miles an hour off of that island to the point of help had to be rendered while you were at sea. Why, indeed? Why, indeed? So let's get back to what we know. Nolan's coach, one of his coaches, I don't know if it's current, but one of his coaches, because he's had a bunch, said that he saw Nolan on the island sometime between 2:30, 3:30, he's not sure, and he didn't look a lick of drunk. He was perfectly sober. On top of that, he had a D1 tryout. He was D1 and he had an important tryout on Monday. Okay. And he didn't look a lick of drunk. So how, if he did see you around 2:30, 3:30, right? How did you get so drunk that it turned into an accidental drowning? Katie, the person your family says they love and they trust, and she chills. Tell me how Katie said the last time I saw him was when, I believe it was Bart or one of the friends was yelling, no, get the F on the boat. Get the F on the boat. Now, she is true. Tristan and Warren both admitted in the interview that they were teasing Nolan about being with Katie. Warren said, I looked at him and was like, man, you crazy. Tristan said he walked by and said some slick shit to him before he left about Katie. I believe Warren said that either his brother or Bart was yelling at Nolan. Right? So all that has been established. Now, we can argue whether that is relevant or not. And then I believe Warren said that either Bart or Wyatt was yelling, get the F on the boat. And Katie said he left to go with his friends. So as soon as that boat fled from that island, not one person, including the girl he was cradling. Nolan was last seen cradling. Not one person on that island with 200 to 300 people and plenty of votes, even his college not one person saw Nolan again after those boys fled in the boats. And by the way, please watch my other video because it's now looking like there were 4 boats, that Wyatt had 2 boats. The Palm Beach and another boat. The evidence is there. Please go look at the other video. Tell me what you think. This ain't no AI slop This is actually real investigator stuff, right? I give credit where credit is due. Please go check it out. So what's really going on? Let's rewind. Let's go back to the point of what made those boys flee. Again, it's like leaving your mama's house or a party at 80 miles an hour with the emergency brake on.
1, 2.
To the point, but worse than that. Worse than that, because will the emergency brake mess up the engine? I don't know. The whole point of it is, you get what I'm saying. So much so that it took them so much and made such a rookie mistake from people that had been on the water and they all know boats and this and that. You made a rookie mistake so much help had to be rendered, and when help was rendered by Bart, according to the video he provided, y'all knew exactly what to do. Pop the trim out, get the water out, get the built. Y'all knew exactly what to do. And y'all thought, oh, we're sinking. You wasn't sinking. It was taking on water, perhaps, but y'all knew exactly what to do to fix it. So what's really going on? Let's go back. What happened to Nolan? Tell me how, when those boats of boys left, Nolan vanished. Not one person out of 200 or 300 saw him. And Nolan was very popular. He was very known. He was very tall. And he was probably...
Obviously, he got on the boat with them dudes and broke out, right? So how long are we going to pretend like it didn't happen? Like, clearly at this point, they do realize he had to get on the boat with them. The girl said he left. The girl said the last time I saw Nolan, they were saying Nolan get on the boat, right? Boats left, Nolan was gone. So obviously, man, Nolan went with them. So I don't even know why we still playing this game with them, man. Like, the man that people start getting locked up at this point, man. I mean, how long we gonna pretend like they really didn't take them off on them boats, man? Knock it off.
Only one of a handful at best of black people on the island. I don't think there was one black woman, and there might have been a few black men, right? So what's really going on? Let's go back to the bit. Why were those boys fleeing? Why was the bill charge broken? We keep starting at the sea tow call and help and what happened? We need to ask, why did you guys flee the island at such a high rate that you guys almost sank the boat? Yeah. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. Listen, chew on this, watch the other video. I'll be live tonight so we can discuss.
Fly like that. 30. 231, so I'm gonna go back. 3224. The newest complete FBI race by offense arrest data are for 2024. Among violent crime arrests in the FBI's race tabulation, white individuals accounted for 52.7%, while black individuals accounted for 43.2%. Black Americans represented about 13 points a year. So their share of reported violent crimes arrests was roughly 3.2 times their population share. Now, I want to say something about this too, because you know how I feel if you are a follower of this channel. If you're new to this channel, I'm going to give you my ideology about black and white. You know, when you string up a whole bunch of different ethnicities into this terminology and this social construct not we, because I don't want to include myself in it, but that was created, that is white and black. You know, American blacks. Let's talk about that for a minute. American blacks, if you took out Haitians, Jamaicans, Africans out of this crime statistic, it would be much less significant than it is, you know what I'm saying, for the whites and the blacks, even though the brother was right and Officer Tatum is consistently defending this structure, the police, Caucasian males, and the president. He is defending that. And a lot of people will pick his side because it's more of them. So he looks like he's smart or whatever, and people are appreciative of that. But he is obviously wrong according to this fact check. White individuals account for more violent crimes than blacks.
that white men specifically commit the most violent crime in the United States of America. If you're talking about property crimes, yes, it's black people.
I'm talking about violent crimes.
Violent crimes, it's white men, including CSAM. White men, if you could talk per capita with CSAM, you can talk numbers. White men disproportionately represent CSAM and violent crimes.
Murder rate and violent crimes disproportionately represent the black community.
All right, we're going to have to pause here, so I'm glad you guys took a pause. You have been voted out. Thank you so much.
10 minutes.
She's making up stats.
If you would like to be the next debater.
Ain't no making up stats, man. You're just trying to avoid the stats, man. I don't even know why they got that guy on that show, man. He just bootlicking it up. Because he's the captain bootlicker. Huh? I hope them little youngsters got in his ass, too. Dude, young guy probably tore his ass up. Let's see this shit.
In 3, 2, 1.
Get his ass.
All right. Everything I heard, everything I've listened to thus far, I think you're full of shit.
Thanks,
you're a police officer.
No, give me an example of what I said that wasn't true.
Let me get to it.
Give me something
I don't think anybody here would disagree that.
Before they get to cooking, I want to educate you for a moment, though, Aaron. You know, salute to everybody that's checking out the channel, but I want to read this comment, and I want to educate Aaron on something. Some black people are saying that black Americans are actually the original Native American Indians. Have you heard of this, Trevor? Aaron, most definitely. You know, on my mother's side of my family, I have Cherokee Indian in me. On my father's side, you know, I have Blackfoot Indian in me. I'm a 46-year-old man that can't grow a beard. See what I'm saying? My indigenous American roots is thick. You know, identifying with African American is something that was created by Jesse Jackson to see if he could implement us in deeper into the American system and the structure. It is true. Did you do a DNA test? Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I did a DNA test. And I'm not even majority African, like how a lot of people who speak like this, I'm majority Blackfoot Indian. So it's a true and it's a real thing that black Americans, even in Mexico, Aaron, even in Mexico, it's indigenous black people in Mexico also. It was called something else. But I want them to get to cooking. We can have this conversation later. I think that the show is going to turn up here in a minute, and we're going to have some callers. People call in with their thoughts and stuff like that. I would appreciate it if y'all did that, though. But foundational black Americans are a real thing. So just get yourself educated up on that, though.
Good policing is bad. We're talking about bad policing. We're talking about bullshit policing. We're talking about the kind of policing that puts gentlemen like you and me in prison for unjust crimes. You like to cite that you're a police officer. Let me cite my professional background. Let me cite my professional background.
I have been in that profession.
10 years writing policy in government at the local and state of California levels. And
you never arrested anybody.
You didn't write policy. I did.
I enforced the law.
So, okay, I write the law.
But you don't enforce the law.
You don't enforce the law.
I
you don't
enforce
the law appropriately.
You just made it up.
You like to use one-offs. Let me use a one-off.
You don't need to use one-off. You just made it up.
In the city of San Diego, there was a black police officer that sued the San Diego Police Department.
Anecdotal.
With regard to, I mean, bro, all day you've been coming up with me. Now
I got statistical data points. Where do you want to go?
Well, like, I need you to keep that same
black
energy,
people commit
I need you to
over
keep
half
the same
of all violent
energy.
crimes.
And that's the problem with black conservatives like yourself. You don't know how to keep the same energy.
You're just talking emotionally.
It was me. Well, I'm trying to give you facts.
So come on with it.
You're supposed to be a police officer. Hold your head, bro. Hold your head. You interrupted everybody, bro. I got one.
You're here to debate me. I'm not here to listen to you talk in circles.
But you talking like you was a state trooper, you was a Secret Service.
I know cops all across the country.
But I did too.
I know policy. I know all
I do
that.
too.
All right, get to your point.
You don't know policy because you never written one.
We're talking about policing in the black community.
I want to hold you to account because police officers like you don't like accountability. So I want to hold you to account. I'm trying to get my story out, and if I can finish my story.
This is not story time, man. The point is police.
The point was with regard to training, the San Diego Police Department showed a video training officers of that department depicting black people as primary perpetrators of crime. That's not true. My last guy that was just up here, who commits the most crimes in America is white people. Name me the last black mass murderer in America. That shot up schools,
it happened in the hood every day.
I didn't ask about the hood. That's
mass shooting, bro. Chicago, the 4th of July.
What's the definition of a mass shooting?
It's a mass shooting.
What's the definition of a mass shooting?
People shot. It's a mass shooting, according to the FBI. I could tell you to go to any inner city in the United States of America and go just this past weekend, and you've seen multiple mass shootings that occurred in that community. I don't know them by name.
I can cite you Columbine. I can cite you Sandy Hook.
You're talking about a shooting isolated at a school. We're talking about violence. We're talking about murder rates. Black people commit over half of all murders in this country. Is that true or not?
That's not true.
That is true. What are you saying?
All right, would you have to pause here?
Black people commit disproportionate amounts and over half of all violent crimes in this country.
Okay, Officer Tatum, both of you guys, we have to stop here because you have been voted out. Thank you so much for your time.
You know, that guy wasn't a good debater. You got to be aggressive with individuals like Officer Tatum.
Yeah, keep talking, man. He kept talking
he
over
was a
him.
little bit too
How you gonna talk?
I like what this brother
cutting
is
you
saying
off,
right
man.
here, Frank.
That's type shit make you want to jump over the table, smack flames out this motherfucker.
Chicago crime.
What's wrong with
if
this
you
dumb
do a fact check right now,
smack
majority
shit
of
out
black
of
people do not
Shut the
commit
fuck up,
the
nigga.
crimes
Talk,
in Chicago. Chicago City.
So is New York City. What's the point? Let's move on, Papa.
The crime
Get me tight now, Papa. Matter of fact, Papa, we out of here. We out of here, y'all. We ain't got to stick around. We ain't got to listen to that shit. Fuck that. We moving on. What we got? Let's just breeze. Here you go right here. We go to the motherfucking original jump off. Let's do it.
Never rush to sue the other driver after a car accident. There may be a much smarter way to get paid a much larger settlement.
This part of the show is being sponsored by the stickermill.com. Please, can you go to the stickermill.com/Dabrand and order yourself some stickers, baby? Come on. You know you like stickers. You was a kid once, wasn't you? Got a heart or something. You know what I'm saying? We pay for some shit around here, man. You know what I'm saying? Lights about to go out and shit so hot. You know, can't even turn the AC on all the shit, man. Come on, man. Stickermill.com/Dabrand, man. Come on, man. Help your boy out, man. You feel me? Fuck is the magic bomb. Oh, see? Can't even afford to get me a motherfucking magic bomb, man. God damn, man. Stickermill.com/Dabrand. Yeah.
Bottom of a conversation. If you're 25 and under, the leading cause of death for you is being murdered by another black person.
I think you're full of shit. That is the whole thesis of Up From Slavery.
No, it's
not. Did you read the book?
I did not read the book.
There you go. Then you don't know what you're talking about. You are uneducated.
Let me to say that Donald Trump is racist is the craziest thing I've heard.
Donald Trump
Have you ever met Donald Trump?
Is systemic racism holding the black community back, or has it become an excuse to avoid personal responsibility? Now, John was a little too white to handle this topic, so you got me. I'm Paris Rose. One brave soul faces a room full of disagreeers. Today we're diving into policing in black communities, whether Republicans are better for the black community than Democrats, and the debate over systemic racism. I'm here with our featured guest, former police officer and conservative commentator, Dabrand Tatum. I'm so happy to see you today. How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm happy.
All right, you ready to take everyone on?
Oh, we're about to get busy in here.
So. Oh, I love to hear it. Are you guys ready?
Yeah. I don't know why you're happy to see him. He's a bootlegger.
They sound ready. All right, let's go.
Hi, I'm Officer Tatum, and I'm the host of the Officer Tatum Show. I'm surrounded by black liberals. My first surrounded claim is Trump and Republicans are better for the black community than Democrats.
If you'd like to be the first debater, get to that chair in 3, 2, 1.
Now, since it is a great debate that they got going on, I would have to agree with them on that. That part, I'd agree with you, Tatum. Still a bootlicker, but yeah. Democrats ain't about that life. You know what I mean? Give it up on them.
Oh, Naima, nice to meet
So,
you.
I'm gonna agree with you on that.
Before I do my rebuttal, I would just like to know why you think that.
Democrats
Well, there's a
lost
myriad of
their
reasons.
way.
I think that conservative policies are more beneficial to the black community, is more beneficial to America, which black people are part of America. And I think that policies like limiting immigration or illegal immigration, getting illegal immigrants out of this country, lowering taxes, all benefit black people as a whole. Religious freedom, you name it, every single policy that I can think about that Republicans have implemented, that they stand for, the values they stand for are all better off for black people than Democrats could ever dream of.
How have you okay, but first of all, religious freedom is not just a Republican policy. I just want that's just in the Constitution.
Far more freedom, believe in the freedom of religion than Democrats could ever dream of.
I don't want to harp on that. That's in the Constitution. That's just not true.
From
but
every single aspect of life.
But I just want to focus on which one of Trump's policies specifically has been designed to help the black community.
Well, the First Step Act has been designed to reverse the effects of over-policing from the past.
He has done that.
The First Step Act, yes, it was.
Okay.
To allow for people who were incarcerated with sentencing for drug dealing and less violent crimes for them to have some relief. My uncle got out on the First Step Act.
Okay.
Urban revitalization, injecting money into these inner city communities. Permanent funding for HBCUs, which Barack Obama never did. Donald Trump implemented.
Okay.
I mean, I can go down the list.
Yeah,
and I think that lowering taxes and all the other benefits that Americans get is also beneficial to black people.
So it's because I've watched some of your videos, I've heard these talking points before, and I actually looked into all of these, and there's not a ton of quantitative impact on how those have actually affected just the black community. But let's talk about the Republican Party and Trump and his policies as a whole. Do you think that Trump reposting a video in which one of his supporters screams white power was beneficial to the black community?
I'm not familiar with some video that he posted.
Well, I mean, you should be,
Let's talk about Democrat policy.
You should be,
Let's talk about Democrat policy.
No, now you're obfuscating. You are the one who has the burden. No, I do not want to be interrupted.
It says right here
I do not want to be interrupted.
Trump and Republicans are better than the Democrat policy.
So the burden of proof is on you.
Yes.
No, this is how the debate works. You've made a claim that you have to substantiate, and you have yet to do that.
I am wrong. So how are you correct in that Democrat policies are better than Republican policies?
Well, actually, do you want to know my personal belief is that the Democrats are fundamental, while Republicans are openly antonizing the black community.
Give me an example.
So,
they're really not, shorty. They're not. They said we got to make the people pay more. And they shut down the government. And when they asked them if they was for the people, they not near one of them stood up. I mean, you can continuously go down. They want illegals to vote in the elections. I mean, we can just keep going down the road like, wow, Democrats is just fucked up. Like, come on, stop it, knock it off, shorty. Like, I'm gonna agree with him on this, and if this is how you're gonna be talking, I'm gonna have to fast forward through this portion of the show because you sound crazy, shorty. You can't even come up with a reason for nothing what you're saying. Like, that wasn't even a question. You're just going off tilt right now, and it's starting to get on my nerves.
I mean, so
what
an example.
Policy position is negative towards black people that Republicans implement?
Trump this year intentionally got rid of the disparate impact analysis. So what the disparate impact analysis does is that it analyzes laws that were made neutrally, policies that were intended to be neutral, to make sure that there were not any racial disparities as an effect of that policy.
That's some dumbass shit that we probably ain't need any motherfucking way. So what the fuck are you talking about right now? Who knew about that? Nobody but you, shorty, because you looked it up. That's some dumb shit. That's why you love the Democrats, because of this stupid shit you just said right now. And that's why we don't like the Democrats, because they make people like you believe stupid shit like that.
Right? Accidentally. So Trump has removed the protection for the disparate impact analysis. So we don't.
What the I was on your side when you sat down. Now, Bootleg and Tatum got a partner getting your ass about the chair because you getting on my nerves as well. I feel him. I just know how he feel right now. He's like, what the fuck is going on right now? Y'all, I'm being punked or some shit? Am I motherfucking being punked right now? Because I can't be over here debating with the troll lady.
No, if the policies that we're enacting are disproportionately hurting the black community or not.
That doesn't make any sense. Any policy.
It doesn't make any sense. I agree.
No, what
it's
you're
a bad
saying
idea.
does not make any sense.
Yes.
The majority of the ones that are in Congress are agreed upon by the House and the Senate.
Right.
Democrats and Republicans.
Yes.
And so with that being said, there's black people represented. There's all kinds of people represented in creating our laws and policies.
But that's the point.
So what are you saying that they're not considering whether or not it has a desperate effect on black community?
So here's the thing.
First of all, her problem is from my understanding, what she's saying right now, she mad because Trump took away some type of policy, whereas that you had to. Because she got us lost right now. Like, what is your point, lady? What are you mad about? I'm lost. Could anybody please tell me what the hell is she talking about?
You create a policy, obviously you're creating it in good faith, but we do not know always how that policy is going to affect the population.
Give me an example of a policy.
Can I finish talking?
Give me an example of policy.
But I'm trying to explain
I'm running out of time.
So the point of the disparate analysis report is to check to make sure.
Oh boy, looked at Taylor like you want to punch him dead in his face. I'm probably looking at him like that too, though.
That the laws that we implement in good faith don't end up hurting the black community by accident. Why would you get rid of that?
Why do you think he got rid of it?
Because he's racist.
To say that Donald Trump is racist is the craziest thing I've heard.
Donald Trump.
Have you ever met Donald Trump personally?
No.
You don't know?
Yo, Donald Trump is not racist, man. Everybody wanted to fuck with Donald Trump before he became president, man. Donald Trump let the old black lady live in the rent in the house because she was homeless, man. He used to hang out with, what's his name, Michael Jackson and Reverend Al Jackson. Come on, man. Man ain't racist, man. They put that on the man. You know, when Donald Trump became president, I got a raise once in my job because they had us stagnated for years. Obama and them, they wouldn't let us get past. What was? Let me see. To shit. When we hit $25, we was stuck. If you wasn't in the union or something, if you wanted to be like a private entity, man, like work on your own, work with people that wasn't stuck up and bougie, you know, you couldn't grow, man, because they wouldn't let your money get up there. Kept the contractors stagnated, paid you so less that you couldn't pay the workers. Sometimes your boss had to be out there working with you and shit, you know. But then all of a sudden, here come Trump. Giving money just start flowing all over the place all of a sudden, man. Every time I turn around, they're getting a big check. Like, oh shit. Damn, I can finally start my business. God damn. I couldn't do that before. Look, started all this under Trump, man. You know what I mean? Struggle. Well, here we go. Now they looking there for PPP loans and shit. Yo, you got sure that money, man? Nah, I ain't getting none of that money, man. I ain't getting none of that money, man. My company was real, man, and I was doing business. We doing business. I built this city, Brando.
Yeah.
No, so you've met Donald Trump.
I've met Donald Trump several times.
So you're basing whether or not he's racist just on
you don't have any
personal
evidence. You're saying because he allegedly got rid of some desperate impact analysis that somehow that has something to do with race and it only affects black people.
But your evidence is anecdotal. Oh, Trump was nice to me one time, therefore he's not a racist.
I have no evidence to believe that Trump is a racist.
Because you are
Where's the evidence that Trump is a
racist? sued for violating the Fair Housing Act by openly discriminating against black renters.
What was the findings of that?
He was actually forced to settle.
He was forced to settle?
Yes, he was forced to settle. No, he had.
There was no finding of fault.
Why would someone settle if they were not guilty?
You can make it.
Why would someone settle if he wasn't doing it?
Was there a determination in court that he was at fault?
He was also forced to.
No. Was there a determination in court that he was at fault?
He settled, so they didn't have a determination in court. He got out of it by settling, which is what you do when you are guilty, but you don't want to go to court.
That's not the way our system works.
Yes, that is exactly what the point of settling is. Yes,
no,
you
it's
settle
not.
out, yes.
He had a dissent decree, which they agreed that he would implement certain things in his organization. There was no fault granted. They did not prove
What were the
any,
things that he had to implement in his company?
Recruiting. It was a form of it was that
I think you're thinking about a different lawsuit against the Trump administration.
He had to make sure that they have job applications available to minorities.
No, this wasn't about jobs. This was about the Trump Corporation, the real estate. Yes, they violated the Fair Housing Act because...
Maybe we're talking about something different.
Well, there were 2 times he was sued for racism.
I only know of one time.
Yeah, well, you should learn about the other one because it was bad too. Yes.
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
I don't even know.
The dissent decree, which was established, there was no findings of Donald Trump being a racist, and his organization has been without fault.
No, that was.
You cannot find a court document that says that Donald Trump officially discriminated against anybody.
He literally marked.
What's your next one?
He literally marked black applicants.
What's your next one? What's your next example of Trump being a racist?
When he reposted the Obamas as monkeys.
Now he did not. He already said that he did not post that. It was somebody on his staff, and the post wasn't even about that. That was a real.
It was on his account.
And then when it came out, he denounced it. He said it was wrong.
It was on his account already.
One of the staffers posted it.
Why would one of his staffers even have that? Even if it wasn't him,
you're making the post sound like the post was about that. It was a meme created by somebody else.
Are you really defending depicting black people as monkeys? Like, that's crazy.
And Hillary Clinton.
That's crazy.
And Hillary Clinton was
and now you're gonna point
pig, and it was all kind of people depicted as animals. It wasn't just about Barack Obama. Did Donald Trump make?
I'm gonna keep it 100. That shit was hilarious. And guess what else? I wasn't even offended about it. So I don't know why she's so upset about it. I ain't give a shit. Shit was a meme. You know what I mean? And shit was funny. That shit was hilarious. Shorty, you should have just laughed about it and kept it moving. Why you so uptight? God damn.
Any other president done that
Did Donald Trump make the video?
Has any other president done that ever?
You're blaming him. Did Donald Trump make the video?
I don't know if he made it, but it doesn't matter. It's about what he posts.
Did he denounce what they represented?
If I posted something that said "kill all of X people," that's what I believe,
no,
right?
That's not true.
Even if I didn't type it out,
that's not true.
Put it in Canva and then post it.
If somebody posted,
still what I believe.
If somebody posted some offensive on your account and you denounce it, is that a fair statement to say you don't believe in that?
No, I don't think that's true. I would like to be held accountable. He said he didn't believe. If I hired someone to post on my behalf and they posted racist statements,
and you said
that would be on me.
And you took it down.
No,
and you told them, and you said to the world, you don't believe that to be true.
Officer Tatum, we have to pause here. All right, you have been voted.
Yeah, I like the fact they frustrating the shit out of bootlegger. Frustrate the shit out of bootlegger. I'm enjoying this shit. They getting his ass up under his skin because he can't get his point across on these little knuckleheads.
Stop by the majority. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, they got this nigga in a room full of knuckleheads. They all gonna turn and beat on his brain right now. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't even know why he would sit down for some shit like this. Clearly, these motherfuckers don't know what the fuck they talking about. Probably the statistics part, with the white people killing more of themselves than black people killing more of ourselves, because damn sure more of them than us. You feel me? So, maybe he was right. The youngsters, they got 1 right now. Tatum got 1 as far as I'm concerned, and they got 1 as far as I'm concerned. So let's go.
If you would like to be the next debater, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Too slow, Papa.
So I'd like to talk about Trump and the Republicans. Republicans, not specifically on Trump, but focusing upon the history of the Republican Party because he's just the latest iteration of that, okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, the Republican Party has a proven track record of giving platforms to sellouts who promote a message that harms black people.
Who is that? Who's the sellout that you, give me an example?
Well, there are actually quite a few, but I'll start with the
No, let's start with this
example.
premise. The first black legislators
Right.
are the following. Congress has represented were all Republicans.
Right. So let me explain that to you.
Is that a fact pattern?
Right, yes. So basically what happened is the last of the radical Republicans, which was a segment of the Republican Party that passed the 14th Amendment, all of the amendments that gave black people the right to vote and ensured that slaves would not be disenfranchised. He died in August 11.
No. Black people, I mean, Republicans unanimously voted.
He died in 1868 when the 14th Amendment was passed. And then guess what?
As a whole voted unanimously. The Democrats did not.
Right, but guess what? After the radical Republican faction left Congress,
radical Republican. That's
they were a historic. No. That's a title. They were a historic.
Who was the radical Republican faction?
They were a segment of the Republican Party Thaddeus Stevens. He's an example. They are the ones who created the Freedmen's Bureau, which was designed to assimilate ex-slaves into the national citizenry. After they left, the Republican Party constructed an oligarchy, which we called the Gilded Age, and in which we saw the fate of black people decline. Black home ownership decline. Black voting decline.
I hope they fact check you on
all
this.
of that.
The Republicans unanimously voted.
No, not after that.
The Republicans unanimously voted for the 13th, 14th, and 15th
Yes,
Amendment.
under the leadership of the radical Republicans, and they were progressives.
Unanimously voted for the Civil Rights Act.
Yes, and then after the radical Republicans left, they stopped doing that.
When did the radical Republicans leave? You saying the
1868, the last person died.
That's not true.
It is 100% true.
Because the Republicans unanimously voted
for the Rights Act. Let me get back to what I was saying.
The Republicans unanimously voted for the Civil Rights Act.
You're bulldozing and you're steamrolling.
Republicans
listen to what I have to say.
Civil Rights Act.
Listen to what I have to say that you can respond to it, okay?
I want you to answer that question.
Booker T. Washington was fated by the white racist establishment. He had tea at Windsor Castle by Queen Victoria. He met Susan B. Anthony. He was allowed to create the Tuskegee Institute because he was promoting this black people.
The most successful documented black man who lifted so many black people from poverty to success was Booker T. Washington.
No, he did not. Jim Crow,
for black success in
the
America.
Institutionalization of Jim Crow was a direct result of his false message.
What was his false message?
His message was that black people were not fit to participate in the political process.
That's not true.
Because slavery had set them backwards.
Where do you see
all of the black
congressmen,
it's in his book.
You saying he mentioned that black people were not fit to participate in the
Yes, that is the whole thesis of Up From Slavery.
No, it's
not.
Did
you read the book?
I did not read the book.
There you go. Then you don't know what you're talking about. Let me tell you something, brother. I am a history teacher.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
I teach in the public school system. You are uneducated.
Let me finish what I'm saying. You cannot
teach in the public school system
if you're telling me that Republicans did not unanimously vote for the 13th, 14th,
you are being
and the Civil Rights Act.
You are being given.
You cannot tell me you're a teacher
as
if you are not, and you do not understand.
You are lying about
the Yo, he told Bootlicker, you are being used as a token. Hold on. I gotta see that. And again, it's crazy. I could just whip whopper. Hold on.
It wasn't
harms black people.
The most successful documented black man who lifted so many black people from poverty to success was Booker T. Washington.
No, he did not. Jim Crow
was incredible for black success in America.
The institutionalization of Jim Crow was a direct result of black people were not fit to participate in the political process.
That's not true.
Because slavery had set them backwards.
Where do you
see all of the black congressmen? It's in his book.
You saying he mentioned that black people were not fit to participate?
Yo, is that true, y'all? Because I don't know. I'm going to keep it honest. I really don't fucking know. But is that true? Because dudes sound pretty smart. But is
Is he just a big dummy up there spitting off some dumb shit that he don't know? Huh? We need to figure this shit out. Put that shit in the comments section or some shit.
The whole thesis of Up From Slavery.
No, put it in the comment section. This nigga know what he's talking about or what?
Did you read the book?
I did not read the book.
There you go. Then you don't know what you're talking about. Let me tell you something, brother. I am a history teacher.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
I teach in the public school system. You are uneducated.
Let me finish what I'm saying. You cannot
don't
teach
know
in the
what you're
public school
talking
system
about.
if you're telling me that Republicans did not unanimously vote for the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment and the Civil Rights Act.
You are being given.
You cannot tell me you're a teacher
as a
if you are not, and you do not understand.
You are lying about
do not talk
a single point.
Because I'm making points.
No, because you're afraid.
Of what?
Of the truth.
Explain to you.
When you earn a living off of lies, you are afraid of the truth.
Give me a lie that I've told.
The idea that Republican policies benefited black people, and that is not true.
I just gave you Republican policies.
No, let me give you an example.
Give me examples that they've hurt black people.
I'll give you an example. During the Hoover administration, 43% of the black people who were employed in domestic work. And the reason for that is because they were shut out of truly gainful employment. And the segment who was hurt the most were black men. Black women could get jobs as maids and things of that sort. But black men, any job that gave them the opportunity for social dignity, value, and worth, they were systematically denied, and a lot of it had to do with Booker T. Washington's message. Now, guess what?
Booker T. Washington's message
has been harmful.
That I have.
You have not read the book.
I've read portions of his message.
No, read the whole book.
I will read the whole book, but you cannot sit here and tell me that Booker T. Washington's message was disenfranchising to black people.
And guess what?
That's not true.
Guess what he acknowledges in his book?
So the Tuskegee Institute was detrimental to black people.
Guess what he said?
No, was the Tuskegee
Yes, it was, and
Institute
let me tell you why. He acknowledged that the people in Tuskegee, Alabama, the white community there, only allowed him to create that institute because he assured them he would not be teaching them anything that would lift them out of domestic status, anything that pertained to higher education, any knowledge of their history, or just the humanities, anything that white people took for granted. In normal universities. It was designed to keep black people oppressed. That was the point.
Up from slavery. Booker T. Washington had a message of black success and personal accountability and responsibility.
And
he did not depend on the government to do the things that black people could already do.
Yes, he did deny on the government.
He did not.
Yes, he did.
He did not make his mission and his plan to say that black people should depend on the government.
This is the lie.
That is a lie.
Everybody who is listening to me, the lie is that black people should focus solely upon family and their economic status and ignore agitations for social equality. No,
it's
and he
prioritizing the family.
He actually says in that
personal
book
responsibility.
That agitations for social equality are the extremist folly because black people are not prepared to be social equals to white people. He actually says that. That has been the program of the Republican Party. Ever since
First of all, that's a lie.
And now, guess what else happened?
That's a lie.
So, after...
Why did the Democrats have, until Cory Booker recently, had the longest filibuster against the Civil Rights Act?
Right, I'll tell you why. So basically what happened is, prior to that act, there were a number of Dixiecrats who were the inheritors...
Racist Democrats.
I'll tell you, the inheritors of slavery, chattel slavery, and then Jim Crow era that took its place. Guess what? The Civil Rights Act were passed.
Unanimously by Republicans.
There was a 20 to 30% shift away from the Democratic Party into the Republican Party, and then, surprisingly, Nixon begins his war on drugs, which is a part of his law and order program. And guess what happens? Black people become 6 to 7 times higher to be arrested for drug abuse versus white people. They are mass incarcerating us, and it is directly tied to Republican policy.
Okay, we have to pause here. You have been voted out by the majority. Thank you so much. If you would.
We're looking for people 40 plus who want to actually master Claude in 28 days. No free time needed, just 10 minutes a day. Nexera gives you interactive.
Yo, man, Tatum getting his ass handed to him by a bunch of little nerds and shit. But anyway, this part of the show is being sponsored by the stickermail.com. So if you go to stickermill.com/Dabrand, your first 10 stickers is on us, you heard? So pick your best, cutest pictures, upload them to the site, get them turned into some fly ass stickers, and when you get them back, just stick them all over the place, man. You know, stick one on your mirror, stick one on your shower, stick one on your car, you know? Stick one wherever you are, you know? It's your boy, the Brando Knows, and we got flavors for your ear. We're going to get back to Brandon Tatum getting his ass handed to him by them nerds we was talking about earlier.
One.
Watch out now. Watch out now. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So your claim is that Trump and Republicans are better for the black community than Democrats.
Yes.
Okay. I think that claim is patently false, and let me explain why. Take the institution of voting, the most sacred thing that the Constitution protects, something that we need for elected officials to represent us.
Okay.
Repeatedly,
I can just see already. He about to get his ass handed to him by Tatum. Now that last one, I would have to say, oh boy, did Tatum dirty. For one, because he's a history teacher. So we have to give it up for that one time. History teacher in the building. Yeah, we like the teachers. We love the teachers. Right, but check it out. So far now we got Tatum 1, the Nerds 2. Right? Tatum 1, the Nerds 2. Now it seems like Tatum gonna tie it up on old boy right here, because he came on sounding crazy to me already. Talking about the Democrats are better for you because of voting. Once you say Democrats and voting, you lost already, because they just want to steal and cheat. You know? They want to bring people from other countries over here and steal your vote, knucklehead. I don't know what to tell you, man. Wake the fuck up, youngster.
Republicans have used the judiciary to discriminate against black people in voting.
How?
We have cases like Louisiana versus Calais. The recent case that in 2026 it's caused all the redistricting crisis that you see right now. And when you see the effects of that for the black community, the Congressional Black Caucus is set to lose 16 to 19%, or it's not 16 to 19 members, 30% of its representation. Regardless of anything that you are saying communities should be doing, you have to still elect people to represent you to make those policy decisions.
Yeah, but
let me finish. I'm going to finish.
I'll let you finish.
If you are erasing the ability for people to have that representation, and you're making it even harder to vote, like decisions like Shelby v. Holder, which it makes it harder to eliminate discriminatory laws, or you have cases like Brnovich v. DNC, which are striking the ability to challenge laws that we think are discriminatory for mail-in voting. It's not good, and it's not reasonable to say that Republicans are representing black people's interests.
Let me put this in simplistic terms. Voting is a sacred right.
Yes.
Right? And black people were afforded voting rights, which we all should fight for. Having voter ID is protecting that sacred right, that black people will make sure that black people can actually vote without being eliminated in their voting power by illegal aliens.
This goes beyond.
Let me go point by point.
Wait.
Want to allow
this goes way beyond voter ID. This goes way beyond
the elections.
This goes way beyond voter ID. You simply don't want. They simply don't want people who are black to be elected.
How is that possible?
Because majority minority districts were created by the Voting Rights Act of 1965. That specific piece of legislation, which Republicans have repeatedly targeted through decades, has said, hey, there was history done here that harmed people, and as a way to make up for it, slowly over time, we need specific areas, black populous areas, to have accurate representation of folks.
Supreme Court ruled?
The Supreme Court ruled that, hey, actually, no, you guys don't need this representation.
Because you cannot
this
do
is
it
unconstitutional.
based on race.
Certainly you can.
You can't cannot redistrict. You cannot do that based on race.
You cannot deny black people from having the right to vote and represent themselves.
Okay, let me explain.
Because you have white people in Louisiana versus Calais. That's what the case is.
Let Officer Tatum speak.
Okay, this is the problem here. You are assuming that black people can only vote for Democrats.
I didn't assume
that. Yes, you are. Because
no,
the redistricting,
I didn't. Where did I say that?
Because
when did I say that?
I'm saying you're insinuating that.
I'm not
because you
insinuating
cannot draw lines of demarcation based on race. That is against the United States Constitution. They ruled that, which is why they had to redraw lines. Black people have a right to vote for anybody that they want that acts in the best interest of the black community or the community at large. It doesn't have to always be Democrats.
There's a reason why black people vote for Democrats, and there's a reason why there's only five elected Republicans.
Which is the problem in the black community today. The consistency of voting for these Democrats who ain't done nothing for black people and still haven't. We're to this day, many people that are sitting around here are still complaining about the plight against the black people, but y'all still vote for Democrats, and Democrats have been elected in office for the majority of the time in the last decade.
Republicans have done
what have they done? Nothing for black people.
Republicans have done way more damaging things, even just as of recent. Just recently with Doge, we had the highest exodus of black women in the federal workforce. I'm not sure if you're not aware of that information, but wait, I'm not sure if you're aware of that information, but black
cutting spending
and cutting spending for social services, increasing crime, increasing debt, and harming people over and over again who are doing nothing to help the black community and trying to perpetuate a policy platform that insists that black people need to be put down is not going to put people forward.
That is a lie.
Absolutely
You are
not.
saying that we're going to cut government spending, but we should leave all the black people there because they're black.
No, we should increase government spending by taxing the rich, funding our communities, and putting us in jail instead of putting people in power.
Taxing the rich is a foolish statement by you. What do you mean by taxing the rich?
We in California have already seen...
That's why people are leaving California.
Oh, wait.
That's why business owners are leaving here. Companies are leaving. They're fleeing.
In California, even in the basic past, when we taxed the rich, we were able to fund the University of California systems. And what did Ronald Reagan do? Ronald Reagan said, let's slash that because black people need to suffer, communities need to go down. And what do we know? Now we have budget deficits affecting our systems. We have laws from the 1970s still on the books.
Let's talk about taxing the rich.
Wait.
That is a lie.
We can talk about taxes too. Let's go.
Are still selling black folks to this day. Taxing the rich they're not going to change the tax code. So taxing the rich is a myth. Would you benefit more financially if you left California?
Depends on how I use my money because I'm a smart person.
It doesn't matter about being smart because the taxes are out of control.
I think money and how you manage it as your person. And when we talk about personal responsibility.
If you manage money well, you're still going to be less successful here financially.
Voted up with the majority. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Pleasure talking with you.
If you would like to be the next...
Yo, Tatum got that one. Tatum tied it up because Youngster ain't know what the hell he was talking about.
Next debater, get to that chair in 3,
2. Boy, you still in the runnings, you still in the runnings, bootlicker.
Right. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
I wanted to ask, just in terms of him refusing to sign not only the Affordable Housing Act, but also refusing to sign the bipartisan 2024 bill when it comes to putting more money on our borders, right? Because you talked about immigration. Why would he refuse these acts if, in reality, if we put more money there, we would have more officers and less fear, and we would be able to actually have legal immigration streamlined more cleanly? Because the question is not, I'm guessing you're not against immigration, you're against illegal immigration. Or,
for the most part, I'm against illegal immigration, but I also believe we need to measure how much immigration we're actually allowing in this country when people in America have needs that we need to address here.
How do you measure that?
We allow 1 million immigrants legally in the United States of America every single year. And we all in here care about the issues that go on in the black community. Yes. I would argue that black people need the financial support that we're giving these immigrants that are coming over here. I think it's not
illegal immigrants actually don't get federal support.
They do get federal support.
Illegal immigrants, fact check that. Illegal immigrants do not have federal support. But actually, what I will say is that immigrants overall pay taxes.
Illegal immigrants
do not get federal support.
access to
Illegal
social
or
programs.
immigrants?
They get access
Illegal
to
immigrants or
Medicare.
immigrants?
They get access to all immigrants, but illegal immigrants do as well.
Oh, I'm talking about specifically the border bill. Why did he reject that one?
Because bills are not isolated. It's got a bunch of minutia, a bunch of spending that he didn't agree with, and the Republicans don't agree with.
But did he not agree with?
All of those bills have
No, actually,
access
a lot
spending.
of Republicans, it was a bipartisan bill.
Well, then why? You tell me why he didn't sign it.
No, I'm asking you.
Tell me why he didn't sign it then.
I'm asking you.
You're saying that he's doing it because he's
No,
racist.
I'm not saying. I didn't say that. Why are you putting into? I genuinely am trying to ask you, why didn't he?
The bill is not just singularly about border patrol.
But
It's
okay,
not.
we're talking about healthcare.
We do have
By 2034, 10 million Americans are going to lose their health care.
I'm so sorry. Thank you both so much.
So that's
love the passion, though.
All right, you got to stop buying generic Viagra if y'all over 40. You can get 9 pills of 100 milligram generic Viagra for just $7 with free shipping from Friday Plan. If you think it's a scam like I did at first,
You hear that commercial?
An Asian lady, you'll soon
Y'all heard that commercial? That's a young black man with a white girl. Talking about, did you get your pack of Viagra? Huh? Y'all see that picture? Do you see the picture? Black man, white girl, but he need Viagra. Huh? My man, my black queen is my Viagra, man. We OGs, man. We don't need Viagra, man. Everything I give my lady is me, man. 100%. 100 horsepower. It's me. We don't need no pink horsepower. We don't need no blue 9 pills. None of that. Straight diesel.
Credit score doesn't have to stay stuck. I remember how overwhelmed I felt trying to fix my credit. It felt like a catch-22, where you need credit to build credit. Then I found Kickoff, signing up took minutes on my phone with no...
Yo, matter of fact, man, this part of those shows being funded by the Human Tripod. What is the Human Tripod, may you ask? Well, we are in the season of podcasting, and everybody needs a cameraman. That says it all. Human Tripod. Go to Human Tripod at gmail.com and you leave a name, a message, a name, a number for somebody to call you back, huh? A date and a time, and someone will hit you back to lock that date in. Facts.
This episode, now let's get back to the show.
My next surrounded claim is that police officers do more good in the black community than harm.
All right, if you would like to be the next debater, get to the chair.
I want to hear why you think that police do more good in the black communities than harm.
Well, when you look at the functionality of law enforcement, meaning that the people who perpetuate crime in the black community are arrested by law enforcement officers, removing them from the community, removing the predators, the drug dealers, and all of that from the community, which is a good thing. And I cannot name other things that the police officers do.
How did the police first come about?
Be more
Slave
detailed.
patrol.
That's not true.
Yeah, it's
the police. That's two different functionalities.
Fact check it. It's
That's
the
two different
origins.
functionalities.
The origins.
You're talking about slave patrols and modern day policing is completely different.
The origins of policing within the United States of America derive from the slave patrol. They still use the same badges.
That's not true.
The same. The stars on the.
That's not true.
That's
the
fine.
functionality of slave patrols and the jurisdiction that slave patrols have versus the functionality and jurisdiction of law enforcement is completely different.
The entire premise of slave patrol. That's fine. Listen, okay, cool. So you don't think there's an issue with policing in the black community?
No.
You don't think there's an issue with stop and frisk?
No.
You don't think that there's an issue with like flock cameras and geo-tracking?
No.
Got it. Okay,
I think that helps eliminate crime.
Sure. Have you ever heard of the Veil of Darkness study?
No, I have not.
Okay. The Veil of Darkness study was a study that was completed where 95 million traffic stops were actually checked across the United States of America. Vast pool. Right? The methodology accounted for the time of day, for traffic, location, different shifts. Would you like to know what they found in that study when it came to policing and black people?
That black people commit more traffic violations than other people.
No.
That is true.
Black people were stopped from more traffic violence. Hold on, I got you.
Because they commit more traffic violations.
You don't know the study. How are you going to answer?
I know what other studies and statistical data points show.
Okay, then give me another study.
That's why.
Oh, sure.
You think they just pulling black people over just because they see a black person driving down the street?
Literally,
That's
the
not
Veil
true.
of Darkness
You
study.
have no evidence.
The Veil of Darkness study that was done by Stanford and backed up by the CDC actually showed that what happens is during the day, police officers use racial.
I gotta help homeboy out for a hot second, because Tatum just said, so you gonna try to tell me that a police officer just see you driving down the street because you black, they pull you over? I don't believe that. You don't believe that, Tatum? Tatum, you don't believe that? Come on.
Bias because they can see people.
That's not true.
And they pull people. I'm gonna finish my sentence.
Made a traffic stop in your life.
I'm literally going to
let you finish.
They pull black people over during the day at a disproportionate rate than white people, but at nighttime, when you can't see and it's harder to tell someone's actual race, then the average drops and it equals out.
Okay,
they actually found that in the study, 95 million traffic violations, that when you can't see someone's race, you focus on the traffic violations versus the day you focus on the people.
Let me tell you why your study is flawed. For one reason, I was a police officer for many years. I do traffic stops during the day, and you cannot always tell the race of a person during the day, no matter what. Secondary, I agree. They're secondary. When you are patrolling, majority of the black people that you engage with live in what? Black communities. So you're going to make an excuse. We can get to that.
I'm not making an excuse.
You're making an excuse. When you're in the black community, you only have options to pull over black people.
Give me any type of empirics that disagrees with the Veil of Darkness study.
Let me finish. I believe that there's clearly a flaw in what you're saying this study represents.
Sure.
Because in the black community,
if you haven't looked at it?
In the black community, I have plenty of other.
You got trust me, bros.
I did it for a living.
Yeah, that's cool
and
story,
you did not.
bro.
So,
like I've looked at the information.
I'm telling you why the study. I'm telling you why the study is wrong.
Do you think your one-off experience is indicative of all policing around the country?
I'm telling you why your study is off. When you're looking at patrolling in black neighborhoods, you cannot. How are you going to make a fair comparison of how many white people pulled over versus black people when there's only black people present in a black neighborhood? The veil of darkness cannot get in the minds of a police officer and determine whether or not the police officer pull the person over because of their color or the violation.
It literally shows. If you look at the data set,
get in the mind and prove that a cop was looking at a black man in a racially targeting him.
Veil of Darkness study, it shows not only the reason why they were pulled over, but it shows the ones that were thrown out. They were disproportionately pulled over, and there was a disproportion of black violations that were thrown out.
It doesn't matter.
Why?
Disproportionality.
Why is it so many black people pulled over and then so many of the violations were thrown out?
You gotta look at it like this. If you're looking at traffic stops across the country, different jurisdictions have different mandates and they have different standards for what they throw out as traffic violations. So you cannot make a generalization across the entire country.
Yes, you can. You know what's consistent across the entire country? White supremacy.
White supremacy
How does white supremacy
have anything to do with a traffic stop?
It's literally racism. They're literally trained.
You're projecting your bias. Tell me how they train. Have you been through police training?
No, I have not.
I went through police training.
Sure, cool story.
And they do not teach discrimination in police training.
That police officers spend more time in black neighborhoods
They're committing more crimes.
They're not.
Yes, they are.
Who commits the most violent crimes in America today?
Per capita, black people.
Not per capita, period.
All right, black people do.
No, white people.
No,
white men.
That's a lie.
FBI data. Fact check it. FBI data shows that white men specifically commit the most violent crime in the United States of America. If you're talking about property crimes, yes, it's black people.
I'm talking about violent crimes.
Violent crimes, it's white men, including CSAM. White men, if you could talk per capita with CSAM, you can talk numbers. White men disproportionately represent CSAM and violent crime.
Murder rate and violent crimes disproportionately represent.
Do you believe in 1350?
All right, we're going to have to pause here, so I'm glad you guys took a pause. You have been voted out. Thank you so much.
Give me 10 minutes. I'm telling you.
She's making up stats.
If you would like to be the next debater, get to that chair in 3, 2, 1.
All right. Everything I heard, everything I've listened to thus far, I think you're full of shit. You're a police officer.
No, give me an example of what I said that wasn't true.
Let me get to it.
Give me something I said that wasn't true.
I don't think anybody here would disagree that good police, we're talking about bad policing. We're talking about bullshit policing. We're talking about the kind of policing that puts gentlemen like you and me in prison for unjust crimes. You like to cite that you're a police officer. Let me cite my professional background.
That last one, I don't know, is no. So that shit is no. Fuck that. I'm nulling it. Because both of them niggas had a point the last one. So I'm nulling that shit. Two.
Let me cite my professional background.
I have been in that profession.
10 years writing policy in government.
You weren't a police officer.
And state of California levels. And
you never arrested anybody.
You didn't write policy. I did.
I enforced the law.
So, okay, I write the law.
But you don't enforce the law.
You don't enforce the law.
I enforce the law.
You don't enforce the law appropriately.
You just made it up.
You like to use one-offs, let me use a one-off.
You don't need to use one-offs, you just make it up.
In the city of San Diego, there's a black police officer that sued the San Diego Police Department.
Anecdotal.
With regard to, I mean, bro, all day you've been coming up with me. Now
I got statistical data points. Where do you want to go?
Well, like, I need you to keep that same energy, bro. I need you to keep the same energy.
over half of all violent crimes.
And that's the problem with black conservatives like yourself. You don't know how to keep the same energy.
Emotionally.
It was me. Well, I'm trying to give you facts.
Come on with it.
You're supposed to be a police officer. Hold your head, bro. Hold your head. You interrupted everybody, bro. I got
You're here to debate me. I'm not here to listen to you talk in circles.
But you talking like you was a state trooper, you was a Secret Service.
I know cops all across the country.
But I did too.
I know policy. I know all that.
I do too.
All right, get to your point.
You don't know policy because you never written one.
We're talking about policing in the black community. We're not talking about policy.
I want to hold you to account because police officers like you don't like accountability. So I want to hold you to account. I'm trying to get my story out, and if I can finish my story.
This is not story time, man. The point is police.
Tatum told this nigga. It's not a story time. It's shit. That's crazy. A nigga told that nigga, man, I ain't here to hear you talking circles.
The point was, with regard to training, the San Diego Police Department showed a video training officers of that department depicting black people as primary perpetrators of crime. That's not true. My last guy that was just up here, who commits the most crimes in America is white people. Name me the last black mass murderer in America. That shot up schools,
it happened in
malls.
the hood every day.
I didn't ask about the hood. That's
murdering. Mass shooting, bro. Go to Chicago on the 4th of July.
What's the definition of a mass shooting?
It's a mass shooting.
What's the definition of a mass shooting?
People shot. It's a mass shooting, according to the FBI. I can tell you to go to any inner city in the United States of America and go just this past weekend, and you've seen multiple mass shootings that occurred in that community. I don't know them by name.
I can cite you Columbine. I can cite you Sandy Hook.
You're talking about a shooting isolated at a school. We're talking about violence. We're talking about murder rates. Black people commit over half of all murders in this country. Is that true or not?
That's not true.
That is true. What are you saying?
All right, but you have to pause here.
Black people commit disproportionate amounts and over half of all violent crimes in this country.
Okay, Officer Tatum, both of you guys, we have to stop here because you have been voted out. Thank you so much for your time. If you would like to be the next debater, get...
Tatum got that because he bullied him. He ain't even get his point across. He's trying to talk, but Tatum bullied him out of it. So nerds. Yo, nerds, y'all gotta get your games up because Tatum got a job by one, man.
To that.
And I ain't feeling that shit because I can't stand the bootlicker.
Hot seat in 3, 2, 1.
All right, what's up, bro?
I would argue that the resources, that the cost of hiring a police officer could be significantly better used in revitalizing the black community rather than affording more cops. As you've seen in the city of New York, when they increased
the amount of funding they're putting in schools, when they increased having childcare for people, when they increased training for people to get jobs, they saw the lowest crime rate that they've seen in years.
Right. This is where I think we can agree on. We got to walk and chew gum at the same time. As we see resources provided and crime go down, then we can begin to shrink the availability of law enforcement in that said community. You don't do one before the other. You can't just say, I'm going to take resources from the law enforcement officers. Crime will go out of control. If I was to concede to your point, we need to see these crime statistics begin to decrease. Therefore, you can justify decreasing law enforcement. You cannot think that because you build a park that somebody ain't going to be shooting and acting a fool in the hood. That is a generational thing that's going to have to happen. And right now, we still got people out today that don't give a F about a park. We've seen plenty of cases that people have built incredible schools, they built parks, roadways, availability to activities for people, and they still out here cutting up. And a lot of it is the way people are raised, the culture that people are embracing, and I would argue that black people are embracing that wasn't even black culture to start with. Those things need to be addressed, and they are the most detrimental to the black community than even funding and defunding police.
And I hear you, but I still agree that...
All right, we're going to have to pause here. I'm so sorry. You have been voted out by the majority.
You got that one by default, Tatum, because dude didn't even say one word. So right now he's... This dude got 4, man. Y'all only got 2, man. He beating out the pants off the nerds at this point.
If you'd like to be the next debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, bro?
I just want to take a second to acknowledge that you're being roasted and you're being very polite about it, so thank you for that.
I'm doing what?
I say you're getting roasted right now, but you're being very polite about it, and I appreciate that.
Thank you for your conceding to my arguments. Okay.
I wouldn't say that, but okay. So you're familiar with, just for people that don't know, it's just the uniform enforcement of both significant and insignificant laws, right? And I think we could both agree that there are laws in this country that shouldn't exist, right? Or just
give me an example, because I can't concede to it if I don't know what you're talking about.
Marijuana, right? Like in the state of Texas, if you're caught with marijuana, you can be a felon, right? I think we can both agree that that's done.
I don't agree to that. I mean, people vote on it and they'll pass what the majority believe. I don't agree to that.
Sure.
I think in some cases marijuana should be illegal. I think medical marijuana should be legal. I mean, obviously.
Well, yeah, sure, but based, all marijuana. But I think we can both agree that if you have like a felony conviction, that stunts your ability to earn and provide for your family, right?
Yeah, you knew that before you committed the felony, right?
Yeah, but like I think certain laws. Well, first of all,
you're talking felonies. You're not talking misdemeanors. Felonies are very intense things that you do that cause you to get a felony. It's not just having weed on you.
Not exactly. Because if you're caught with a wax pen, right, that can be considered a felony equivalent to if you had like cocaine or something like that.
Depending on what state you're in.
Yeah, depending on the state.
If that's the case, but you know that before you know that before you do it.
Sure.
And so you make the decision. Everybody in here make the decision that they're not going to do that because you don't want a felony in your record because you want to be successful and be able to get a job. Is that fair?
But that's
personal responsibility.
But let's interrogate the central claim. You're saying that police in black communities do more good than harm, right?
Exactly.
So if you're caught smoking a blunt on your porch and you become a felon for the rest of your life, and then you're relegated to like being like doing menial labor for the rest of your life, right? When you could have had a lot more prospect, isn't that the police causing more harm to your life?
No, it's just don't smoke weed and you won't have to worry about the police.
So are the laws enforced equally across the races?
It is.
No, they're not.
What's your proof? What's your proof to that?
So black people in this country, right, are statistically found to have been given larger sentences for the same crimes compared to their white counterparts.
See, let me give you some more information to give you a better perspective. A lot of it is because people have committed multiple crimes before they get to the final crime sentencing. Yes, it is.
Even for first-time offenders.
Give me an example. Where do you see? Now, here's what. And everybody should acknowledge this. Where do you see in this country a judge? This judge gave a white person a different sentence than a black person in that same courtroom.
Statistically, you can still see that minority offenders are given harsher sentences for the same crimes compared to the white counterparts.
And a lot of times it's because they already have previous charges. I'll give you an example of people that's in my family. Sure. You know, 2 people that I know, I'm not going to say what position in my family, got 20 years in prison for armed robbery. 25.
All right, break it down. Let me break it down because I am a felon myself. 5-time at that. But anyway, it ain't funny. But check it out. What he's trying to say is that, you know, if you got a white man and a black man in the same courtroom, and they get charged differently, the white man get less, right? What Tatum is trying to say is probably because the black man has some other shit going on already at time. Right? Meaning he had more charges under his belt than the white guy. You understand? Because that's how the courts work. The more charges you got under the belt, the worse the penalty every time you get caught. You understand? Now, the first time you get caught, there's really no penalty. Depends what you did. You might not even get no probation. You understand? I remember the first time that I personally, when they actually really started, yeah. My first time, I believe they gave me 5 years probation or some shit like that. Matter of fact, that was that thing charge I told y'all about when I was 14. Yeah, that thing chased me around for a long time, and it caused me a lot of problems too. Because listen, I used to boogie on them. They wasn't catching me, and at times I stopped going to see my PO, because I was on probation, 5 years. Yeah, I remember those days, but they over. Brand though. But back to this bootlicker. He's sort of right. If they're in the same courtroom, he could get charged more because he got other charges prior to the one that he's being charged at the time. You know what I mean? And first of all, in this country, motherfucker with the first offense, if it ain't murder, you probably ain't gonna get nothing but probation. You know what I mean? So far, Tatum got shorty by the neck. So it's looking bad for y'all because that's gonna be like 5-2. Y'all letting this nigga do y'all dirty.
Years in prison for armed robbery. The reason he got 25 years is because he had already committed a robbery. He got 5 years before that. Another one of my cousins got 75 years in prison for shooting 3 people. The reason he got 75 years, and some people didn't get that, because he had already been a prohibited possessor, he was already a convicted felon, and he had drugs in the car. Those contributing factors is what lead many black people who already have a criminal record to being sentenced at a higher rate. You cannot find a judge that gave a black person a higher sentencing than they gave a white person. And if you find that judge, I think everybody in here will be against that judge. And I would march and protest a judge that we can find doing that. You won't find it.
All right, we're going to have to pause here because you've been voted out by the majority.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Nah, you won that debate right there on bootlicker, but you would find that judge you talking about, man. Don't act like that judge don't exist, Papa, because he out there or she's out there, and you and I both know that. All right, bootlicker.
Did you know you can rip digital packs and reveal real, raw, and graded cards? Let's Go new app lets you do exactly that. Rip Pokemon and NBA packs from $5 up to $1,000. Rip to reveal real cards. Ship it to your door, keep it safe in a secure vault, or sell it back instantly, up to 90% of fair market value. Chase your favorite cards from the comfort of your home. Install Let's Go and start ripping today.
I'm thinking about
Can you believe this? Doug Flutie and Frank Thomas. You guys look great. Once I turn 40, let me guess. Less energy?
You
would like to be the next
about ripping, y'all. I'm thinking about ripping. You know what I'm saying? They doing it, you know, saying flip, get the card or something. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, fuck that shit.
Please get to the chair. In 3, 2, 1.
What's up?
What's up, bro?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good.
They ran over there. You better
let's
say
have
something too, little.
I want to approach this from a place of curiosity.
All right. My observation from the door, going in. When a man sounds like that to me, man, like, with that squeaky shit. Make a nigga wanna block up. and put it in. Paka, paka. Paka, paka. This nigga just sound like he about to get his ass handed to him on a platter. Damn.
Because the thing that troubles me about a lot of the way you structure your arguments is that it seems to suggest to me that you perhaps believe that there's some moral deficit that black people have that inclines us to commit more crimes.
I don't believe that.
I guess my question is, what do you think that moral lack is?
I don't really think it's a sweeping generalization that every black person somehow is born inherently evil or inherently a criminal. I think that there's different things that do cause people to fall down a path of committing crimes, which is what their fathers did and what their mothers did.
One might say context and systemic racism? Or
I don't think we can isolate criminal activity that happened in the black community that has no hand or involvement from white people. You know, a young man deciding to grab a gun and do a shooting has nothing to do with white people. A young man having sex with 5 and 6 women, getting them pregnant and not standing up for his responsibilities has nothing to do with white people.
See, but when you tell stories like that, it seems to suggest that you're saying that black people are responsible for all of that versus these isolated incidents, these mythical isolated incidents that you're bringing up. I guess
I'm saying it's personal responsibility.
So you're saying
there's no white man there.
There's an epidemic of personal responsibility inside the black community.
I agree with
How do you measure that?
By looking at the effects of it, looking at what black people are doing over time.
So earlier people have come up and given you a vast number of statistics that indicate systemic racism, inequality, possibility, but you can't give a single statistic that indicates that. How do you measure that?
Epidemic of personal responsibility. You see the outcomes.
Is it the rap music?
That's one indicator.
Yeah.
It's rap music.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Come on. Let's talk about rap.
And I'm gonna tell you how it has a negative effect on black people.
Yeah.
White people actually listen to rap music way more than black people do. They purchase it more. But black people are living the stuff that's in the music. White people fantasize of what it may be like to run up on your op and shoot somebody and kill them and go to prison and selling dope in the hood to your own people. Black people are living it. It's a reality. And it's reinforced. You cannot tell me that that's not a form of brainwashing.
I've listened to a lot of rap music. You know what I've never done? Shot up a school.
What does a school guy do anything?
I think you try to create this image. Are you saying that there's No, this is what I mean by you seeing that causes us to be more prone to violence, but you don't acknowledge any of the historical context.
Are you saying that there's no negative effects of brainwashing yourself about killing your brother and sister and listening to that on a day-to-day basis? There's no negative effect in that.
Right. Why are you posing this as a uniquely black thing?
Because
when you make the argument that violence has been a part of art all the time. I write for a living. You know who glorifies violence? William Shakespeare. You know who glorifies violence? Quentin Tarantino. But you don't see anyone talking about, oh my God, there's a response for all the white on white crime, even though there are more white criminals in America than any other race.
We're talking about black people.
Yeah.
Do you think that black hip-hop music, rap music is detrimental to the black community?
No.
You think it has no effect on the psyche of a young man listening to that every day?
No. It's that simple.
I disagree with you on that point. I think here lies the problem.
How would you validate that? How would you prove that?
Well,
what can be proved is a correlation between poverty and crime, and that can be traced systemically through history. And this goes back to all of the arguments we've made about wealth accumulation and how black people have been prevented from having that.
Now, how can you associate that to white supremacy?
How can I associate white supremacy and generational poverty? Do you think wealth is inherited?
In part.
Yes, so do you think poverty is inherited?
Majority of people who are successful in this country do not get passed on generational wealth. A lot of people who are very successful came from nothing. I would argue that almost every black person who is successful came from nothing, which is an example of why capitalism works.
Yeah, okay, so I went to one of the most conservative high schools in America. It is a very alluring and deceptive delusion to believe that somehow you are special.
What do you mean? You're saying that
I mean,
if you work hard in this country...
This is the way earlier that you suggested, like, oh, here's my example of someone who escaped poverty, and that means that everybody has access to that.
No, I'm not saying not every white person has access to it.
So then you acknowledge that there are forces that operate against black people that are unique to black people. And where do those come from?
I think a lot of it comes from the actions of black people.
The epidemic of personal responsibility that you can't indicate how.
Are you telling me, so are you a successful man?
I'm doing my thing. Yeah.
Okay, did you go to school?
I got incredibly
Are you educated?
I got incredibly lucky.
Are you educated?
Yeah.
Okay. What decisions did you have to make to get to the point that you're at?
Okay, we want to talk about education. We want to talk about difference in funding between schools in black neighborhoods and white neighborhoods?
No,
like if you're
funding. I went to probably one of the poorest schools in my school district. They didn't make the difference of whether or not I did my homework or not.
Yeah, this is the thing why I think you're convinced that you're special.
I don't think that inherently because the color of my skin that somehow I'm behind the curve against white people.
Yeah, Harriet Tubman escaped the plantation. A lot of people didn't. Is it the fault of all those black people that they couldn't escape?
I don't get your point there.
The point that I'm making is that people live in dire circumstances, and every once in a while someone can break out. And that's not an indication of the system itself.
Black people don't live in a world where every now and again, the majority of black people live in the middle class.
Yes, but a lot more black people live in poverty than any other.
Disproportionate, and a lot of those are because of decision making. When you have children.
Systemic racism not proven. What you're doing is you're assessing. When does systemic racism stop in America? When does systemic racism stop in America? I don't think there was real systemic racism ever. Keep going, please keep going. I would love for you to go for the rest of the time. I do not believe that there's been systemic racism in America that's been the primary reason why black people cannot succeed. Right, but you can't prove that there's an epidemic of personal responsibility. You can prove that there's an epidemic of systemic racism. No, look. And that's why I'm asking you, when did it stop? Because theoretically, that should be Are you saying that black people are not responsible for the decisions that they make? I'm saying everyone has agency. Everyone commits crime. Everyone does everything. Exactly. But people have that. So therefore, if you do the right things like you did, you have an opportunity to be successful, which is equal to just about anybody else, no matter what color you are. You think white people better than you? No, but I worry you do. Why do you think I do? I'm the one that's saying that black people have the opportunity to be successful in this country just as well as anybody else. You don't believe that. So you think white people are better than you. Your prompt perhaps could have been, we should do more to prevent crime and poverty in black communities, right? That's a way of framing the argument that you can say frame or whatever you want. You are focusing on, we're talking about black people. I'm focusing on language because words are important. We're talking about black people, you focus on what white people are doing. So who are black people doing other black people? How many people brought us over here on boats?
Gentlemen, time's up now. All right, thank you.
I appreciate you.
Nicotine, the ultimate biohacker secret weapon, has made a wild comeback. But why is that clean lifestyle still fueled by big tobacco's chemical-laden slop? For those who switch out LEDs for incandescence, source raw milk, and read every single label, it's time to stop compromising. Introducing Nicotine, the nicotine solution that actually complements a clean routine. This family-owned company manufactures a superior nicotine lozenge right here in the USA. Affectionately known as a lip ring, this fully dissolvable option is crafted with just 6 premium ingredients, including real essential oils for authentic flavor. There are no pH adjusters, no plastic pouches, and absolutely no waste. Available in 3 and 6 milligram strengths. This is nicotine perfected. Reject the compromise and raise the standard. Go to knickknack.com/surrounded and use code surrounded for 20% off. Or use the store locator to find knickknacks near you. Warning. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive.
My next surrounded claim is that black people hurt black people more than any other group.
If you'd like to be the next debater, get to the chair in 3, 2,
after this one,
1.
we're going to really
What's up?
Okay, I personally think that, since we're talking about groups, I think that Republicans, their leadership cause more harm. I think the fact that Louisiana, which has one of the highest murder rates, or has one of the highest poverty rates, that's run by Republicans.
Taylor got that last year too because Duke was talking gibberish.
And honestly, with the Voting Rights Act, they just axed the fact that black people can have a voice. So when we talk about like political harm, Republicans are trying to destroy black people. When we talk about economic harm, Republicans, with the tariffs, with just how we're doing as a country right now, Republicans have axed any way that black people can be able to speak, profit. We can go back to racist policies like redlining that, President Trump has participated in twice. I just don't understand how black people are doing more harm there.
Okay, I disagree with a few things that you claimed, but what I'm saying is that if you look at, I don't know the ages of everybody in this room, but if you're 25 and under, the leading cause of death for you is being murdered by another black person.
Where?
What do you mean where?
Where are victimizations of black people higher?
In black neighborhoods.
Where? In red states? In Mississippi? No, right?
Yes, well, not necessarily true. Mississippi as a state obviously has majority white people that live in it. We're talking about cities that are primarily black that are dealing with these issues.
So my problem with this is that whenever we talk about black harm, we're only able to talk about murder rates.
No, it's not just murder rates. I would argue that black people systemically voting for Democrats have been very harmful to the black community.
How?
Well, when you look at, let's start from Martin Luther King all the way on. There's plenty of statistical data points where black people have declined in the birth rate. Let me finish.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In young black people born into single-parent homes, black people engaging in employment.
Can I talk about employment?
Let me get to point by point. Yeah. And this entire time, black people have been consistently voting for Democrats, which I argue is hurting the black community.
You went to employment, right? So let's talk about unemployment. Who had the lowest black unemployment?
What you mean, who had?
What president? Yeah, what president?
Well, Joe Biden did.
Okay, so Joe Biden, the Democrat, right?
Let me explain. The first decline that we saw, which was historic, was under President Trump.
Yeah, and then it was historic under Biden, right?
It went down
after the pandemic, right? It was historically low in 2023 at 5.3 or 5.2 for black unemployment, which beats Trump's 5.5, which increased to like a 7.9 by the end of the year.
Some people can argue that Trump's policies residually rolled over into Biden's
like the Tax Cut and Jobs Act.
Opportunity zones help black people. Tax cuts.
Is that why he didn't bring them back and brought them back for rural areas?
Tax cuts do help black people. I don't know if you believe this or not. Black people do have jobs.
Why did
they do rely.
I agree.
Taxes being cut.
That's why
to help
Biden had a lower unemployment rate. But when we were talking about tax cut, Biden had a child tax credit that Trump took away, that the Republicans didn't want to put into this 2023 and 2024 year. So why are the Republicans stopping those tax cuts? You said black people have to.
I think we're getting off track. The premise of what I'm saying is that the elements that we see in the black community are perpetuated by other black people. Listen, let me say, the drugs that are sold in our communities are sold by us. The crime that is committed in our communities, that's devastating our communities, are perpetuated primarily by us.
So what's your solution?
Okay,
I can give you a solution.
You've been voted out by the majority.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, they've been voted out by the majority, and so have I. The hell is the ball? He says time for bed, motherfucker. So yo, until Monday, cause you already know it's your boy Brando knows.
Monday is the worst, first day of the week. Always seem to feel I never get enough sleep. Tuesday's the one day, feels like a Sunday, and if it wasn't for Monday, I wouldn't even notice. Wednesday's the hump day, get you out the slump day. Thursday's the day before that bread, so you pump day. Friday's the next,